How do you shed the weight of your history, the fears and worries that you might repeat what's happened in the past? Well, that's exactly what we're discussing today on the Manifesting Guide. But before we begin, if you'd like to get a guided meditation and exercise to build true self-confidence, then go to highertrueself.com/freebie. It's yours to enjoy for free. You know how great it is to shed a little bit of weight. And you get to put on some jeans that previously were really tight, and you put them on, they slip on comfortably, and you feel confident, you feel good, right? Well, that's what it's like when you shed your history. You feel fresh, like it's a blank slate. You don't have anything being heavily carried like burdens and emotional backpack. You are free to experience what comes to you in the moment without any preconceptions. That's what we're talking about with the Higher True Self work. It's kind of like starting with a blank slate in an area where you've had disappointments, perhaps failures in relationship or even with your health or even with your business. So it's blank slate time. Define what you want. And then whatever rears its little ugly head that says, nope, that's not possible, we treat that like blockers. So let's go into a little bit more what I'm talking about. We all adapt ourselves to what our environment says. So we get on the scale, we're a little heavier, and so we adapt. And just like you may have had to buy clothing was a little bit larger to feel comfortable, it wasn't what you wanted. So adaptation stands in the way of you getting what you want and being where you want in life. You felt okay in your clothing. You didn't like how you looked in the mirror, but you felt okay. Well, after shedding weight, maybe after a few months, it's now summertime, and you shed this weight over the winter, springtime, summertime, you pull out those beloved jeans that you kept for whatever reason, and now you slip them on. And as you sit down, the waistband's not pinching into your gut. You can breathe easily, and you look in the mirror, your belly's flatter, and there's a smile, it feels good. And then the next day, you pull out another pair of pants, and they feel great. And all of a sudden you realize you have a brand new wardrobe. You didn't have to do any shopping. Didn't cost you a penny. You have a brand new wardrobe. That's what it feels like doing this work. Your life doesn't change. Your life situation doesn't change. But you change inside. So the clothing feels different. How you relate to your family, friends, spouse, your dog or cat feels different. You feel different. So, how to get there? Well, one of the things I noticed is that just like in the shedding weight example, we feel lighter, we feel less burdened. So instead of being triggered and reactive when your spouse said something like, can you do the shopping today? I mean, I've got a full day, and I know you don't have as much work today. You showed me your calendar, your schedule. Can you do the shopping? And I know it's my turn to make dinner, but oh my gosh, I just can't do it. And you look at your calendar and you felt, oh my gosh, all the excitement. You had some white space in your calendar. And now your spouse is trying to insert something. So instead of being reactive, which could be trigger a pattern, you always do this. You look at my calendar and you try to plan my day, which would be knee-jerk response. We all do it, right? Instead, you look your calendar, you look back at your spouse, you look at your calendar, and you choose. Power to choose how you're going to respond to the situation. Instead of reacting, you're responding. So you look and say, honey, I'd really like to help out. How about this? I'll do the shopping, you make dinner. Your spouse looks at you and said, oh, that'd be great. So in the past, we would get triggered, which means that a pattern, a reactive pattern from the unconscious mind, a habit comes forward to keep you safe. to help you navigate and protect that white space in your calendar. And then you can see where it goes from there. Your spouse would respond or react to your impatience and frustration that they always do this. And now you're down the rabbit hole, and this could trigger an argument that could last a few days, weeks. It could trigger even something really big, depending on where your spouse is in their state of consciousness. So that's what it feels like. You feel lighter. You feel you can choose instead of be subject to, like, being puppeteered. You know it's not the highest and most healed expression of yourself, but you do it anyway. You don't have a choice. You just react. That's what the higher true self work is like, in terms of, instead of reacting, you have mastery and control over yourself. Now that's an example of relating to someone else, but how about consciously choosing to change your diet, but without pressure or forcing? You just notice yourself enjoying a salad every day, and you're really enjoying it. You're not making it up. You're not lying to yourself. That's the old way. The higher true self way is way easier, because you're changing the internal systems, choices, reactivity to make a change in the outer life situation. So there's no pressure, there's no expectancy that the world conform to your internal demands. I mean, that was the old way. That's just a little snippet of how this work changes our life situation on the outside once we feel lighter, like shedding the weight. But instead of shedding the weight, we're shedding the burden of history, habits, patterns. It's profound. Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed the show and would like to get notifications of future episodes, go to highertrueself.com/podcast. Now, if you'd like to build true self-confidence, you can get one of our guided meditations and exercises completely for free. You can find it at highertrueself.com/freebies. Remember, self-confirmation frees you to be yourself.